Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this late night edition of E20's player ratings. West Ham United, what, three? Sorry, three. Luton won in a game that was a bit mad today. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to get into the player ratings. Anyone who's in the chat, I know it's late, but anyone who wants to help out, they're more than welcome to jump on and help me out. But listen, before I get started, let's make sure that's done all right. Yes. Gosh, that's done. Before I get started, it was end of an era, to say the least, into sort of today's fixture. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It just felt like the change, like the story had just changed full circle now. Do you know what I mean? One thing I'm happy, is that you you see everyone appreciating Moyes. You really did, and you sort of, how can I put it? You sort of enjoyed everyone was enjoying the experience. Do you know what I mean? Um, for me, he gets a lot of shit, David Moyes. Yeah, we're currently ninth in the league. Yeah, worst case scenario, we end up 10th in the league. And some of the comments, I'm going to be real. Some of the comments that I've had over the last 6 months in regards to this geezer, mate, you'd think this geezer like committed the ultimate crime. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm pleased that he got the send off that he deserved. Yeah, obviously there is players that we're going to talk about. So hope everyone is well. I see Keith's in the chat. Hope you're well, mate. But it is what it is. Let's get into this. I know it's a late one, right? But bear with. You know what I mean? Let's get cracking. Right, start with Areola. What I remember is he picked the ball out of his net. That was at the start. After that, I don't really remember him having to do a lot else, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't remember him having to keep making save after save to keep us in the game. I think the goal just set us back massively. But it's the same old West Ham. We are so shit from the start. Yeah. Couldn't work out why we shit at the start. But today we was just I noticed it today. It's like the Jack on Eye of West Ham all over again. Like one half we're good, one half we're shit, one half we're shit, one half we're good. Like it's never we're never playing well in 80 minutes of a game. It's always 45 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? I make mine short and sweet on this one. I'll probably give him a seven. I thought he was all right. I mean, no, tell a lie. The only thing he pissed me off with today is he doesn't throw the ball out fast enough. And when he does throw the ball out, it's so like with so much pace. He could start attacks pretty easy. Yeah, with just rolling the ball out and getting things going. But yeah, he's a bit hesitant in that regard. I'll give him a seven. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know, he's got to do better in regards also of dominating his box. That would also help the situation. Like I need his keeper to start dominating his box next season. Yeah, shot stopping, very good, but dominating his box, not so much. Is he a seven? Tell you what, I'll give him a nice six. Give him a nice six for me. That is for Alphonse. Moving on to this man. Let's sort that out. Yeah, yeah, that's good. To this man, Vladimir Coufal. Um, I was critical of this geezer, especially in the first half. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely terrible. Right. Then people say that second half he beats two men and makes a goal. For me, this geezer shouldn't be first choice next season. Yeah. Is this geezer going to be in next season? That's the interesting question because he's going to have 1 year left. Are West Ham going to look to try and cash in on this geezer in the summer? For me, Vlad's been a good signing. Very, very good signing at West Ham, but he's not first choice for me. Yeah, I think he does the basics very, very well, but there is no more from him. Yeah. When it comes to trying to beat a man, get to the byline, cross balls in, take people on, he just doesn't do it. He runs down the line. If he can't beat the man, he checks his run, passes it sideways and back. And that's not a criticism of him. I'm not going to go in on the geezer, but let's be real. Like, he ain't the future. Yeah, he's, what is he, 31? I think he is. So for me, it is like a Jack or night performance. I agree with what Nicky's saying there. Second half, he was an 8. I'd probably agree with you, mate. 100%. Yeah, he was very good in the second half. But that is being too kind in the first half because he definitely wasn't a 5 for me. I'm going to say he was a 4. Yeah, I thought he was shite in the first half. I think the goal is a problem. Yeah, because he doesn't get out fast enough. I'm going to go with, I'll go with a nice 6. He's definitely not 7, and he's definitely not just a standard 6. I'll tell you what, I'll give him just a 7, right? Just to be kind. But I do think like this geezer's he's just not on it. He's not first choice for me. Yeah. He's the sort of person that you bring on to take off the right back that you currently got as first choice. I just don't see it. Do you know what I mean? Too much damage from the opposing. Got done on his side. Backs off too much. I agree on that, Jack. 100%. 100%. He backs off too much and he doesn't do enough going forward. And let's be honest, in this modern game, we need people who can get up and down the pitch, attack, and defend. He can defend pretty okay, but his attacking ability is just not all that. And people give him this sort of praise that, yeah, he gets assists and all that. But I reckon I could find another person who could do the same as him and be a better going forward. So I'll give him just a 7 to be kind on that regard. Right, let's move on to this man. And that is, wait a minute, let's just do that a second. Right, that's it. Oh, it's a bit better. God knows what's going on in this camera tonight. Right, comes this man, Kurt Zouma. Uh, he's not a captain. That's the first thing I'm going to say. First thing I'm going to say, this geezer's not a captain. The goal is a major fuck up from him also, right? This camera's getting on my nerves, hold on. Right, we are back. This is a fucking disaster tonight. Kurt Zouma, yeah, definitely not a captain for me, 100%. As I said just a minute ago, right, the first goal is a major fuck up from him, right? Why is he not going for the header there? Right, why is he not trying to like clear it? He just lets the ball. First off, it's lazy defending in the first place. Yeah, he stands there. If you just watch the goal back again, just watch Kurt Zouma. Yeah, I can't stress enough how angry I was when I see it. Um, I look at him and I just don't see. He's got 1 year left at West Ham. Yeah, for me, you get rid of him. Right, you sell him now, you get money in, and you go for a younger model. I wouldn't give him a 6, man. I thought he was shit. Like in the first half, right, amount of times he's out of position, and I remember in the first half they was breaking on us, and he was running back, and it was like he was running through like quicksand, trying to get the ball back. And that is frightening and worrying. Do you know what I mean? Every time you're relying on this geezer to sort of step up and shape up, he's a good, he's a good box defender. Like if you want him to clear your lines every single time, he's the man. But he's got no pace, yeah, and he can throw in a lazy one, man. Like I mean, literally a fucking lazy one, and that is a problem. Like we need players who are not fucking lazy. And no disrespect to Kurt Zuma, he's not a captain. Like this geezer just doesn't scream captain of West Ham United. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's another major reason why this year has been a bit of a fuck up, if I'm being honest. Because there's been times before where we've been obliterated by teams, and he's sitting in the dressing room getting changed, and fucking Ward-Prowse is out there, Soucek's out there, Bowen's out there, even Antonio's out there on the interview, and fucking Zoom was nowhere to be seen. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. I think he's done his time. I think it's time to say goodbye, and I would sell him in the summer window. Right, let's come to this man. Now, this one's going to be emotional damage. Uh, Angelo Ogbonna. I think that was goodbye today, which is a shame. Yeah, but it's the right thing to do. Right. One thing we've got to stop doing as a fan base is being sentimental with players. Yeah, and for me, Angelo Ogbonna's been here a couple of seasons too long. But if it is his final goodbye, which he did feel like to me, being subbed off, picking up the grass, like walking along, picking that grass up, and sort of doing that like thing he did on the pitch. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is, but all good things do come to an end. And he's been a fucking great servant to his club. That's one thing I will say. The amount of shit that man has had to put up with in regards of playing partners, in regards of dealing with Issa Diop, Joaquin Balbuena, anyone else who's been his partner over the years. Do you know what I'm saying? This geezer's always been there. And do you know what? He's always been professional, I would say. He's never lost his rag. You never see him come out. He's quite he's a modern professional. And do you know what? It would not surprise me if this geezer goes on to be like a future manager or a coach, like really good coach in years to come. I think the way with media stuff, and yeah, it is going to be a shame. On today, I thought it was okay. I thought it was just okay. I thought first half yet again that they're all slow, yeah, and even he's slow to pick up the runner, yeah. Obviously, their player scores, and he's just slow, like, and that's the problem. Like, he's just not reading the game anymore, and not, you know, he's just he's done his time, so to speak. So yeah, I'm going to give him. I think Zouma was a bit better. I'll give Zouma a 6. I'll give Ange. Oh, don't know. He done a good tackle in the second half when they was breaking on this. Tell you what, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. You know what I mean? We conceded 1. They didn't really do nothing after that. So yeah, he gets a 6. Right, let's move on to this man, Emerson, who there's a bit of a trend going on, ladies and gentlemen, on this late evening. When Paqueta doesn't play well, Emerson doesn't play well, and it seems to be catching quite a lot. First half, that he was winding me up to a point. He was going forward, losing the ball, and the pass was either over hit, under it, and it was just effort. Yeah. Second half, a lot better. All right. And it just seems like to me they need a kick up the arse or a severe bollocking to get them going. And I don't understand why. Um, I'm going to make this one pretty short and sweet. I'm going to rate him a 6 out of 10. Yeah, he wasn't amazing. He wasn't. He was bang average, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and when he's in that sort of mold of being bang average, Paqueta's bang average and all. So he got a bit of a problem there. So yeah, I'd make it short, sweet, 6 out of 10. Not amazing, not crap, just bang average. Right, let's come to this man. He was getting a lot of stick. Mr. James Ward-Prowse. People want this man sold for some crazy reason. Now, the question is to everyone, whoever's watching this video back, is what is this man's best position? Is it a DM? Is it an attacking number 10? Is it in a 2-man midfield? Is it in a 3-man midfield? Now, I personally think this geezer goes in a 3-man midfield. If you've got a 3-man midfield, James Ward-Prowse is the guy. Yeah, he's safe on the ball. He's good at he's a calming player, James Ward-Prowse. Like the sort of player that West Ham do always need. I think people rely on this geezer too much, but we need someone who's a bit more box to box, who's a bit more picks the ball up and can go through people. James Ward-Prowse can't beat a man and get us up the pitch in that way. He can pass us up the pitch and he can fucking work his bollocks off for this club. But wanting him sold, I think, is a bit harsh. I think he's had a good season. Like, it's his first season with West Ham, and the stats that he's give us fucking ain't bad. I'm not gonna lie. So for me, I think today he scored good goal. First half, it wasn't working. It was irritating me in the first half. Soucek and him were just pissing me off because they're just in a 2. They're just not all that. I think the only time you ever play them in a 2 is when you're playing in a bottom side, and they played them today, and they was crap in the first half forever. Yeah, and amount of times Luton were just going straight through the middle of us every single time. So yeah, for the goal, I'll give him. I'll give him just a 7 right today. Yeah, he gets the goal, gets us back in the game. Good finish. He does work hard, this geezer. You can never question this geezer's effort. That's one thing you can never do. You can never question his desire or his effort. It's just finding what position best suits him. And for me, if West Ham are going to go to a different style and a different backing system, if West Ham are trying to go to a two-man midfield, this guy is just not the guy. He's simply just not the guy. He hasn't got the tackling ability to sort of get us out of shit, and he hasn't got the sort of driving runs to get us up the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'll give him just a 7 for me. Move on to this man. He's Tomas Soucek. Fuck me. Talk about a good left foot. You know what I mean? A good left foot strike. Now, people criticise this geezer quite a lot and says he can't pass and he's a bit like a fucking robot. Now, that was a fucking thunderbolt finish today, I must admit. When he hit that ball, it was in straight away. Like, it clean as a whistle. But the same thing applies to him as it does to James Ward-Prowse. First half, all over the place. Again, do you know what I'm saying? And Soucek, yet again, is he like what is his best position? Yeah, because let's have it right. Last season, Deck was getting him out a lot of shit, a hell of a lot of shit, because Deck was covering the ground a lot more, and you know it just wasn't good. Right, he's just not good in a defensive mould. If there's a three-man midfield there, I think the same thing applies with this geezer. Yeah, I think in a two, he's not all that. In a three, I think he's not too bad. I think he can cover the ground. He can go box to box without any hesitation, and he hasn't really got to worry about defending because he knows he's got bodies around him. So, yeah, he irritates me, but I don't want to see this geezer sold. Yeah, I'm seeing people saying about selling him and all that. I think if you're selling him, then you're going to have to replace him with someone who's going to be top notch, box to box, like a proper midfielder. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think West Ham are going to do it. See what Jack's got to say with this. So he's the best at being a complete traffic cone in midfield. Then he has the odd goal in him and gets him out of jail. The only problem is with that, Jack, right, is that he scores big goals. Man, if you think about the goals that man has scored this season to win us games, Nottingham Forest at home, he scored at Burnley away. Yeah, there's another game in there somewhere where I remember saying it before. He scored the winner. Yeah, Everton. He scored the goal that technically won us the game. Yeah, this geezer scores big goals. Do you know what I'm saying? And I get it. I do get it. But I think you've got to try and suit a style that fits him also. Do you know what I mean? Yet again, I think the two-man midfield situation is a bit mixed because I think we've got players in our side that don't fit in a two and fit in a three, and we're trying to play a two. So, it is what it is. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I think the goal. I think the goal gets him them points right up there. Other than that, I thought he was pretty average. But the goal is a good goal. You got to give him credit for that. So yeah, I'll give him just a 7. Yeah. First half shit. Second half a lot better. 7 out of 10. Let's go to this man. And it is Lucas Paqueta. Ah, dear. This geezer's checked out, mate. I'm afraid. Nothing today at all. I can't remember anything of any note that what this geezer done today. Right, if someone can tell me in the chat, I'd like to know. Yeah, because I can't remember fuck all from this geezer today. Yeah, first half, irritating again, trying to do 1-2s with Emerson where the balls are just misplaced passing, and I thought he was going to get a yellow card because he was going berserk because he didn't get a throw in. I think it was. Don't get me wrong, there's a player there, yeah, but this player's just not there. His mind is somewhere else and his body's just there. He hasn't been good in this calendar year. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I ask this to the boys all the time, right? Name me 3 games away from home this season that he's played well in. I can name 1, and that is it. And that's Liverpool away. I don't remember times where I've done player ratings and I've sat there and gone, Lucas Paqueta was absolutely amazing. So yeah, today there was fuck all. fuck all of any note. I'm going to give him. We won the game. Give him an I6. I'm going to be kind because we won the game, but this geezer's. If City come in and or someone comes in for 85 million, we're going to get 85 million upfront payment straight away. That could be good business for West Ham because West Ham could go out and find a couple of players who could really sort of galvanise this team. The issue that I've got with Paqueta at the minute, which is a bit of a concern, is are City looking at him for 85 million now? Or are they seeing what we're seeing and thinking, fuck me, this guy's a lot of dough, right? And he's not doing anything. I really know at West Ham. It's other players who sort of stepping up to the plate. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. So yeah, I'll give him a high 6. I'll see fuck all today. Yeah, again, and it's just like an average. He's there, does a little bit. When Emerson doesn't play well, he don't play well. And I think this situation with Man City and everything has to be resolved as soon as possible in the summer. Like he's either staying and we build around this geezer, he can get his head back in the game, or we've got to get him out the door, get the money in, and then reinvest the money straight away. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10. Comes this man, Mohammed Kudus. I got a bit of stick earlier on, I must admit, I'm not gonna lie. I turned around and said this geezer's passing ability is fucking shit at times. Yeah. In the first half, yet again, another one. Absolutely winding me up severely. Yeah. He will beat a man, he will come inside and he's running towards the goal. And then the pass is just it's terrible. Like the end product sort of pass into Antonio. There was an attack in the first half where I see it and I was like, Mo, just play him in there, right? And this is Antonio's through. And the pass is just so bad. So bad. Second half, completely different player again. It is literally like they all got in at half time and just had a massive row and they've come out with the Raven Hump and they've just turned up in the second half. He had a shot in the first half, which was like spooned wide. The goal, the assist for Earthy's goal is a great bit of work. Yeah. And that's why we need a centre forward at this club because George Earthy is literally made a centre forward run there. Do you know what I mean? Our own centre forward was nowhere to be seen, and George Earthy's made it happen. I'm going to give him a 7. Yeah, Kudus, right? I think he's the shining light. People have been criticising him over the last few weeks. You can't criticise this fucking geezer. This geezer's decent, man. Right? And I think next season, I do think he needs a sort of right back who can overlap him. Yeah, I don't think Coufal is the guy. You know, I remember this with Bowen, right, back in the day when Bowen was on the right and Coufal was behind him. We can get a right back to go alongside Mo, then we've got up a chance. Do you know what I mean? Or if he's gonna go over to the left, Emerson's got to do a bit more. Simple as that. So yeah, I'll give him just a 7. I think for the assist, his excellent bit of work, as I say, and yeah, this geezer's had a good season, man. Like he's had a good season, and let's have it right. He started his season on September the 1st, yeah, against Luton away, and he's ended it now today, obviously at home against Luton. So he's had a good fair crack at it. I'll give him a 7. Comes this man, which it is Jarrod Bowen. Um, Unlucky in the first half. He hit the post. Yeah, he's trying his best to get that goal. Know that. I thought he was quiet in the first half, though. Yeah, I don't think he was in the game half as much as upright as anyone else. I think he was the one who was just wasn't doing had that one effort in the first half where he did it the post. But other than that, I can't remember nothing else of what he really done. One thing with the kid, he's a trier. He always keeps going to the end, and yeah, he's the one that we've got to build around. Like we can't keep relying on him every week to keep scoring the goals when other people have got to step up and start chipping in. But I just think today this wasn't his day, really. Yeah, I don't remember anything of what he done, which was overly like, wow, I can remember that. I'll give him, I'll give him a nice 6. I don't think he's a 7, but I don't think he's like a 5 or anything. So yeah, I'll give him a high 6 out of 10. good, standard, solid performance, but nothing over exciting. Comes to this man, is our centre forward, Michail Antonio. Now, I'm sitting there watching this game, and 20 minutes in, Danny Ings looks like he's coming on because of Antonio's knee. Yeah, obviously, Antonio turned around and said he'd carry on. He was having fights with their centre half, literally like MMA scraps in the middle of the park. He had an header that just went wide. Mickey's a good player, man, but the problem is that's one issue that we have got to address in the summer is getting a centre forward at this club. Now, Michail Antonio, ever since he's come back from fucking being injured, yeah, he has been one of the shining lights for me, right? He really has. I think he's had probably two bad performances off the top of my head. I think every other time he's scored or he's assisted a goal, he's been really, really good. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from me. I've fucking slated this geezer many a times, right? But I'm gonna be honest. He's come back and he looks up for it. But today he worked hard. I'll give him his due, and he was having so much grief with the centre halves because they were sort of like literally throwing him about and everything. There was times in the first half where the ball, a better pass into him, and he's in on goal or he's in with a chance. He did have a shot in the first half that went into Rose Ed. Second half, I don't really remember him majorly doing anything of any note. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Jack says here, see what Jack's got to say. Antonio's good for backup depth and a threat off the bench. Desperate for a centre forward in the summer. Totally agree, Jack. Totally agree, mate. And that's what it should be. Yeah, if West Ham want to go out and make a statement, go and get a Solanke or go and get an Ivan Toney. That to me, would be the main thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And Mickey comes off the bench, like on the 70th minute and can do damage that way. The issue that I have with it is that this geezer's 34 years old, right? And he is one injury away from like him not being about anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because he's had hamstring injuries, and we've been so fucking lucky that he hasn't had an injury this season. Really, like he got injured for like 3 months, but this geezer was injury prone back in the day, and especially towards the back end of the season. Like we're literally wrapping this geezer up in cotton wool. And it shouldn't be like that. This geezer should be a luxury off the bench to bring him on and say, "There you go, right, have 20 minutes on us." So West Ham need a striker. I'm going to say that, and he's been a good servant. So yeah, I'm going to give him. Yeah, I'll give him a 6. Let's move on to the subs. This is going to be interesting. Let's start off with. Well, I'll start off with the ones that sort of ain't going to get a lot of mention. I think Cresswell comes on, standard 5. Ings comes on, doesn't really. Joe didn't even notice him, mate. Didn't even notice him on the pitch, so he's going to get a standard 5. Obviously, Casey come on for a few minutes. He's going to get a standard 5. But the man of the moment, young George, he's going to get a nice rating. This kid's a talent, man. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, if you look at his game today, yeah, and you look at his passing ability, yeah, the run for the goal, everything about that goal was someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah, he made a fucking striker's run for fuck's sake. I was like, you know what? He's always on the move. His passing's crisp, like literally, like he's a talent, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is one thing that I will say with the Moyes out people that have said this for a long time. I'm going to take that off for 1 second because it's irritating me. Yeah. One thing what the Moyes out people have said for a long time in regards of like play the youth is I look at him today and I'm thinking, fuck me, we could have used this geezer this year quite easily, quite comfortably. Well, we could have used this geezer like in games where we needed someone to sort of pick the ball up, have a bit of confidence, and have a bit of sort of no fear, so to speak. And I've seen him twice, and I'm going to shout out Alfie, yeah, because that kid, got it spot on, right? People think we talk bollocks on this channel, right? But Alfie said to me a year ago, I'll never forget it. He turned around and said, James, Earthy's the one that's going to come through and he's going to break into the team and looks like the shining light. And he reposted a tweet today, funny enough, and I see it and I just laughed. I thought, yeah, like, you called it last year. And I agree with that comment there from Tom. Let's get to this one. For a young kid, he looks so calm on the ball. Even Paqueta was looking up and looking for him every time he received the ball. I agree on that. He looks composed. He's got composure, this kid. Yeah. Let's talk about the goal, right? The goal. I think it's great work from Kudus. That's the first thing, yeah. And what I like is the anticipation from Earthy, yeah. Bowen's there. Bowen doesn't even anticipate it. Bowen thinks he's going out, and George darts his run around the back, cuts across, and then he reads the near post sort of space, and there you go. There's your first goal on the claret and blue in a sort of Premier League game. Now, I want to see more of this kid next season. I think he I'm looking forward to seeing him next season. Yeah, Lopetegui's got a bit of a decision to make there because now we've seen him, we want to see more of him. Now is Lopetegui going to allow that to happen, or is he going to sit there and go, "I need tried and tested players and all this shit"? So that remains to be seen on that. I'm going to give him. Oh fuck me! What am I going to rate him? Do you know what? I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He comes on, he scores a goal with his first fucking touch, as good as. The run is excellent. He looks good, man. he looks good. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say who he reminds me of because I know I'll get grief. Yeah. But fuck it, I'm going to say it. He reminds me a little bit of a young Foden. Just the way he plays, just like how he glides about. And what I like about this kid, he's always on the fucking move. He don't stand still. Yeah, the amount of times that our players stand fucking still, crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll give him a 9. Yeah, fuck it. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I think he done well. Well done, George. That's what I'm going to say on that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd rather us take a punt with Earthy next year than sign. Yeah, I know. Sammy Snobic. I can't even pronounce his fucking name. You know what I mean? I don't want him here. Can't pronounce his name. Listen, Earthy needs to play, man. Let's get this comment up. Thanks, James, for all your hard work this season. Do you know what, mate? I'm going to talk about that, funny enough, in a minute, right? I'll talk about it now as it goes. It has been an hard season. Yeah, before I get to the referee and obviously David Moyes, it has been an hard season. This for me has been the hardest season that I've ever done with YouTube. That's the first thing. It's been the hardest season just for the in-house shit that we've had to put up with, and it's still going on now. Like, I'm going to say it. I had a comment earlier on saying about me having Moyes people on this channel. Yeah, one thing I have always do is I work on a respect basis. If someone comes on here and wants to respect the manager who's given them their best fucking moment, who am I to stop them? Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, this geezer today got a lot of respect from a lot of people in that ground. Yeah, and the way it's been portrayed is like this geezer's the fucking antichrist. Right? This geezer's not the fucking antichrist. He's far from the antichrist. Yeah, I've seen a lot worse of people at West Ham who's fucking destroyed this club over the years. Moyes is set us to a standard. I've always said that. Yeah, and he deserves that sort of respect. And yeah, it has been tough. It's been tough. It's been tough on me. It's been tough on the boys. I've sort of done where I'm the oldest and wisest. I've took the boys out of the equation. I've dealt with the shit, especially on E20, and that's why a lot of them have sort of backed down and backed away and jump on just very, very rarely now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I said to him, "Listen, I'll deal with it." Because every time they was coming on here, especially Alfie would come on and he would defend Moyes, yeah, because Alfie's a young lad. It's the best he's ever seen. Why is he going to knock the manager, the best manager he's ever seen? Yeah, and he'll say one thing, they'll say another. Next thing you know, you're having rows with people, and it's just not healthy, mate. It's just not healthy. So um, as for me, yeah, I can take that shit. I can. I'm a big boy. I can handle it to a point, but even I crack at times. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like when I see stuff earlier on, I was like, it's over, and you're still continuing it. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm going to say is this, yeah, before I carry on. I hope they've got the same fucking energy for the owner of the club, yeah, because it seems like to me they've got a lot of this. These people got a lot of energy towards Moyes, yeah, but they haven't got the same fucking power and energy towards the owner. Now I've always had the same power and energy towards the owner of the club because I called it spot on. I knew Lopetegui was coming, and I know how this fucking owner works. And for me, right now, Moyes is gone. There is no excuses, right? So if it don't go right next year, what are we going to do? Fucking like say about Lopetegui out? You know what I mean? The issue is Sullivan is a problem. He's a problem for a lot of reasons. And I look at the Lopetegui thing, and I feel that that's an easy get out for him. Yeah, because he's there, he's available. Yeah, and there is no future plan on this. But I'm going to speak about it at the end anyway. Let's come to the referee. Right, the ref. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Yeah, I thought he had a decent game. Do you know what I mean? Didn't do. He allowed the game to flow. Um, don't remember him making any fuck ups, any at all. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna give him an 8. Fuck it. Yeah, I don't remember him doing anything majorly bad. I don't remember any yellow cards that weren't yellow cards. Yeah, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he had a really good, decent game. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the ref. All right, let's come to this man. And it's the final time at home for David Moyes as I have a drop of Sprite. Right. First off, first half, shite. Yeah. I don't know why always happens with Moyes' teams. Right, that's one thing I don't understand. Because they either come out in the first half and they're very good, or they come out in the second half and they're very good. Right. But it's never 80 minutes of being very good. It's always a 45-minute game, yeah. And the problem is with West Ham, if West Ham go a goal down, they're basically they're fighting an uphill task straight away if they come out slow. Do you know what I'm saying? West Ham can't keep going 1-0 down. Like they've got away with it this season quite a few times. Yeah, Burnley today, not the Forest, even Everton away. Yeah, to a point. Um, so yeah, I didn't like the first half performance. I thought the first half performance was total fucking shit. The second half performance was a bit of West Ham though. Yeah, I'm going to say two things on this. I thought we was good in the second half, but I thought Luton sort of shit themselves a little bit. When it went 1-0, they was like, "Oh no, right, it's over," sort of thing. And I thought they ran out of steam. Yeah, in the second half, I think as West Ham were like grinding their way through, Luton started to sort of just fade away to a point. In the first half, Luton were pretty decent side. Yeah, they were really, really good. So on today's performance, I'm going to give Moyes scored 3, conceded 1. They didn't do a lot else after that. I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Yeah, he's obviously let Earthy come on the pitch. The team selection, people said about Alvarez, but in the end, he's got it spot on. Do you know what I'm saying? And he could have changed it at half time. He didn't. I'll give him Moyes an 8 out of 10. Now, let's talk about afterwards. You know what I mean? I was so pleased, yeah, because when you don't go to the game or you're not in the ground, yeah, and you're looking at things from like a social media standpoint, sometimes you can believe the social media shite, so to speak, yeah. Um, I see a few videos today of people literally clapping him, applauding him, see the odd person fucking tell him to fuck off, so to speak. But you can't please everyone. But the vast majority of people were showing respect to this geezer. This geezer deserves respect, man. Yeah, he's not scum of the universe, right? When I've had to deal with fucking Avran Grant, Gianfranco Zola, and people like that at our club, Big Sam, this geezer has done a lot for West Ham over the 4.5 years, right? And as I always say, you may not like the geezer, yeah, you may not, but you can't knock what he's done. You simply can't, yeah. Um, he's set a standard at West Ham there that I expect next season to follow through. Yeah, I don't expect West Ham to be in the bottom half. I expect West Ham to be competing at the top end, and a top 10 finish is a minimum for me. Um, and I'm pleased he got the send off that he deserves. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it all goes back to a respect basis, right? It simply does. Do you know what I mean? And for me, like, he deserves it. He deserves it. Like, Prague was fucking special, man. Like, Prague to me, and someone said it to me today, like, I'd rather win a fucking League Cup than win the conference. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't care, mate. I simply do not fucking care. Yeah, because this man delivered that. Do you know what I'm saying? Other managers couldn't even deliver us a win against fucking Wimbledon or Wigan or Oxford. Do you know what I'm saying? This man went unbeaten in the Conference League, got us to the final, and won the fucking competition. Do you know what I'm saying? And he still isn't appreciated. Now, the only issue I've got with this is if West Ham go backwards, people will start appreciating where we've been. Do you know what I'm saying? I I'm a bit nervous about next year. Don't get me wrong, because Lopetegui's coming in. It's a major change and everything else. But I will speak about that in a minute. So to round this up with David Moyes before I speak about the future, um, it's been emotional. It certainly has. We've had some highs, yeah. We've had some lows. Obviously, the low side of things this season's been shit to a point. Is in standard of football and the not just losing but getting fucking obliterated by teams. Right. I think this season we've sort of got away with it to a point, but it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. Obviously, one of the low points for me was Frankfurt at home 2 years ago. Yeah, that was the one where I thought, have we missed the boat, so to speak? And to get to the semi-final, get done at home, and I'll never forget that game because the hype around that game, people were looking at the occasion rather than the game, and the game took place, and we before we knew where we was 1-0 down. And obviously, the defeat in Frankfurt was probably the hardest defeat under Moyes. Yeah, to go over to Frankfurt and we lose a man, like, and we go 1-0 down, and it's just sitting there for like 80 minutes or 75 minutes, knowing that we can't do fuck all, and this is the moment that's going to pass us by. Um, Obviously, we qualified, and then that year of Conference League, all the way up to Prague, it's something that I will never forget, never. Yeah, and some of the boys won't even forget it. And I was even speaking to someone last night, funny enough, and I turned around and said to him, I said, "Do you remember where we was last year? We was like, because we went out on like a pub crawl, and we ended up in a boozer not far from their training ground, yeah, Rush Green." And he said, "James, I remember that night." I said, "We was all in bits. Like, I was in bits. I was in the pub. I was crying my soul out because for me, when I look at it back then, and I do, like, everything come out at night. Like every relegation, every player that's been sold, every person who's passed away that I've known who's been a West Ham fan, my granddad, my uncle, everyone, like everything just unloaded out. And I was like, I can safely say now that I've witnessed West Ham winning the trophy. That is why when people say to me that trophy is a tin pot trophy, I will fight it all the way to the bank. I will fight it all the way to the end. Yeah, because to some of us, that trophy's fucking everything, mate. absolutely everything. Yeah, and I will never ever shit on that trophy and the boys that delivered that moment to all of us. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and it proved it on the night. It proved it the next day how big of a club we actually are. Yeah, that's why David Moyes, to me, will he'll be a manager that set a standard at West Ham and got us our first trophy in the London Stadium era. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why he deserves a bit of respect, mate. Do you know what I mean? And anyone who sits there calling him a cunt, calling him this, calling him that, calling him a narcissist, you don't even fucking know him. You don't even know the geezer, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And you only listen to what other people tell you. Yeah. I look and see what's happening in front of my eyes, and I appreciate what happens in front of my fucking eyes. And that is it. So, yeah, listen, David Moyes, thank you very much for your service, mate. Yeah. You've done your time, and it's been a pleasure. Yeah. But the 7th of June, 2023 will never be forgotten in my eyes, and it shouldn't be forgotten in anyone's eyes. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Conference League, League Cup, FA Cup, whatever it is, we should appreciate it as fans because trophies in West Ham don't come around it very often, so to speak. So, yeah. Now, let's talk about the future before I round this video up. Um, Obviously, Lopetegui, he is coming and he is there and he's waiting in the wings and he's probably going to get announced after the Man City game. For me, next season, he he has to at least get top 10. He has to. Yeah. If Moyes can get this team to a ninth, 10th place finish with no bench and basically going in 4 competitions, I expect Lopetegui with a fresh transfer window, new players, new ideas to at least get top 10. Yeah. I do look at it next season that I'm a bit concerned that are we going to see a same situation happen that's happened with Moyes over the last 2 years? Yeah. Are we going to have a situation where we're going to allow this geezer to come in? He's going to sort of bring these players in, the ones that he wants. Tim's going to bring the players in. And if it don't go great, then is people going to start saying about, look at the money he spent and we should be higher. Like someone said it earlier on the space, West Ham should be trying to compete for top 6. We're nowhere fucking near it. Like, as in a consistent basis, we're nowhere near it. Yeah, we give away too many points against shit teams, and we're just not that level at the minute. Yeah, not to say that we can't get to that level. Don't get me wrong, but we're just not that level. So top 10 is where West Ham should be aiming for. Yeah, I don't think it's like too much to ask, right? And when you sort of break it down, you've got the big 6, and then you've got Newcastle and Villa. We are the best of the rest currently right now. Right, do you know what I'm saying? And when you look at Newcastle and Villa, 2 clubs, 2 rich owners, 2 ambitious owners. And then you look at our owner, who let's be honest here, Lopetegui is a man who, as I've always said, is a free agent. Sullivan hasn't got to buy him out of his contract, and basically he's been sitting there waiting to a point. So it's going to be interesting to see how Lopetegui sort of handles the pressure because the fan base, if it ain't going right, they will tell him. They will let him know that well, what is acceptable and what is not. And next season's going to be one in ones. It's either going to go one or 2 ways. It's either going to be very good and a sort of successful one, or it could go down the pan pretty fast. Now, obviously, I can't tell you the future, but I hope it is the better version of West Ham, so to speak. So and it's a big window for Tim. That's another thing I'm going to say. I think where people have sort of put all their hopes into Tim Steidten to say like, "Come on, Tim, you've got to step up now." I heard it earlier on, and I was like, "Are we setting up this geezer for a fall?" Do you know what I'm saying? He's got a job to do. Don't get me wrong, but it works as a collective. Everyone's got to be on the same wavelength, and that includes the owner of the club, the owner, the technical director, the manager or head coach, and everyone works as a unit next season. And obviously we'll see how good the football is, because a lot of people, a lot of pundits are looking at West Ham and waiting for West Ham to fail. Yeah, I think they're sitting there waiting in the wings and going, we're going to see how this goes because we think this is going to go bad. Now, for me, as I say, I'm mixed. I'm not. I'm going to have to see how this geezer goes within the first 15 games. Yeah. So basically, get up to Christmas and then see where we're at. Um, but I do expect top 10. And if I don't, not to say that if he doesn't get top 10, I'm going to be like screaming from the fucking hill saying, get him out the door. But there has to be a standard that, and Moyes even said in his interview today, funny enough, that he's set a sort of benchmark for West Ham to sort of go off. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what I want to see. Yeah, I'm fucked off with keep seeing West Ham fighting relegation and being that team that are just mid-table and don't do fuck all. You know what I mean? We've seen West Ham in Europe. We know we can compete in Europe. We know that with Europe we can attract really, really good players. Right? If we didn't have Europe, Kudus wouldn't be here, Alvarez wouldn't be here, Paqueta wouldn't be here. So in one way, we do need European competition to attract top end players. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I will say that. Uh, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen, on this sort of fine Saturday night. It is now 2:20 in the morning. I could not sleep. I've had a bit of a shit day, really. I'm gonna be honest. It's been it's been. Let's put it this way. If you want to have a bad day, I thought to myself, please, West Ham, don't make it any fucking worse. Right. First off, I had my missus's dog pass away. Yeah, had to be put down really early this morning. And I was like, that's just such a choker to the family. Yeah, and dealing with that, like, because anyone who's got a pet, it's like a member of the family, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? And everyone's sort of cut it up about that. And then I see something very, very sad earlier on. Yeah, really, really sad. Flicking through Facebook, and a girl that I used to go to school with or knew in school, like who was 2 years younger than me. Yeah, she sadly took her life, and it really, trust me, mate, it really sort of took me back to say, you know what, there's more to life than this shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously, I sort of messaged a few people, and I basically said, "Well, what happened?" And they sort of told me what happened. But yeah, she sadly took her life. She had her life planned out really, really well. And trust me, mental health fucks you up, man. I'm gonna be real. That's why I always say this: a problem shared is a problem halved, man. And then with me, I'll help anyone. Yeah. If someone's on the floor, I'm a sort of geezer that I'll pick them up off the floor, not just stand over them to get where I want to get to. And yeah, when I heard that today, that sort of set me back massively. Then I had the West Ham thing, and then tonight I just couldn't sleep, and I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just do this player ratings, and you know what I mean, see how we go. But trust me, this mental health game, man. Yeah, for a girl who was 35, she was a nice looking girl and all. She was a gym bunny. She, yeah, to go and sort of down that path. Yeah, she must have been in a really dark place, man. And trust me, anyone who's in that dark place, I'm going to say this: there's always light at that end of the tunnel, man. Do you know what I mean? I'll be real. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there years and years and years ago, like where you sort of get into a bit of a situation where you just can't get out of it. Yeah, and you sort of you speak to people and you deal with shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And basically, it makes you stronger than ever. Like now, I'm like fucking made of granite now. But trust me, if you're going in that sort of dark times, to go down that path of no return, that is, It's just sad. It really is. Anyway, that's enough from me. Yeah. I will see you again in the week, obviously, to build up to Manchester City. Yeah. That will be fun. I mean, we will see how we go. I'm going to dedicate this film to Michelle and obviously Jazz, the dog, because obviously you can't leave Jazz out. But yeah, that is enough from me. C'est la vie, and I will see you again in the next one. Listen, one thing I'm going to say: a problem shared is a problem halved. Don't sit in silence, man. Take care.